Before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to help the channel grow and keep up to date with the latest videos. Hi and welcome to another video by me, FlowJo. Today we're looking at Power Automate Desktop actions, but we're actually looking at how we create and use empty strings within these actions. So we're going to be touching on a couple of different actions, and firstly we're going to look at this set variable action. If you haven't seen my set variable video and you don't actually understand how this action works, I definitely recommend you check that out first. However, if you do understand it, then let's say we're creating a variable and we want an empty string, you may consider just putting two quotation marks with nothing between, which you would consider an empty string, right? However, Power Automate Desktop will consider this as part of the string. So effectively be going, okay, you are creating a string variable with two quotation marks within it. So you'll get two quotation marks rather than an empty string. So then you may consider, okay, in the to section, I'll just not put anything. I'll leave it as blank and hit save. But when you hit save, you're going to get an error pop up saying parameter 2 cannot be empty. So how do we get around this then? Well, Power Automate Desktop has a %sign function that you can use. You can use %, the two quotation marks, and %sign again. Now this is telling Power Automate Desktop that you want to use an empty string and you don't want to use the quotation marks within that string. So you're not trying to create a string of quotation marks, like the first example that we went through. Okay, so let's have a look at this on the set variable action. So this is what it looks like when you add it to Power Automate Desktop initially. You're going to create the variable name. And then in this section, in the to section, is where you're going to put the %sign and the two quotation marks and then the %sign. This is your empty string value. It is effectively an empty string function. Once you hit save, you will then be generating an empty string variable. So how does this work on something else then? Let's have a look at an if statement. Now in this if statement, we are essentially setting an initial value of the empty string. So we know that we've got an empty string and we're checking to see if it is actually an empty string. So on the second operand, we are essentially pasting in our %sign, two quotation marks and the %sign, and we're looking at passing the empty string value again. So you can see that it's just continuous throughout entire Power Automate Desktop action experiences. If you use this %sign, two quotation marks and %sign, you will be generating an empty string value. So in this instance, we will be comparing an empty string. Is it equal to an empty string? Yes, it is. Okay, our if statement is true. So let's take a look at this on Power Automate Desktop then. Okay, so I'm on Power Automate Desktop and I'm going to open the variable section and add set variable. Now in here, I'm just going to change this to example empty string. And then in here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press save. Now you can see this is where the errors occurred, where the two can't be empty. So that's an issue, right? Now let's just add the quotation marks, which was from our initial example. Now what that's doing here is, if you look closely, it's got quotation marks around our quotation marks. So if we run this now, what's going to happen is on our flow variables on the right hand side, we're going to have a string variable of quotation marks. You can see that we've got quotation marks is not an empty string. So if we come back into here and we then do the %sign, the double quotation marks, and then the %sign again, and then hit save, you can see there's only the two quotation marks here now. There's not ones wrapping around the other quotation marks that we initially had. So if we run this now, the flow variable over here, once this has run, will now be empty. We have now got an empty string value. So that's how easy it is to use empty strings on Power Automate Desktop. Thanks for watching another video by me, FlowJo. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button or select a video on your screen right now to continue learning more about the Power Platform.